Prosperity gets you off the couch from watching TV and actually getting you to be the star in your TV show. The message that's coming through is to really start to play a leading role in your life. Prosperity is an inner spaciousness that grows from connection to yourself, to source, and the mission you came to embody. The vision is what gets us off the couch. A lot of us stay in the day-to-day, going to work, paying the bills, doing the laundry, cleaning the yard, task, daily minutiae of living, that we forget that there's a mission. There's a soul calling, like that little spark that came into our body that started the heart beating from in utero, had a mission here, and we get caught up in the shoulds of what day-to-day living should be like, especially around money. We're driven to work harder because of money. And a lot of us don't manage it well, we don't handle it well, and we forget the vision of why we even want it in the first place. Prosperity is like a spaciousness, and the vision helps to expand that spaciousness. How do we not let that inner mindset of garbage that has been passed down, our ideas that are not serving us well? They show up as blocks. They show up as discomfort. They show up as shoulds, shame, guilt, pain. I can't. They show up as sadness, and they keep us stuck and on the couch. Does that make sense? We want to get off the couch. The message from the guides. Prosperity. What's in the way? What's blocking the flow? Outside events are never the problem. It's the thinking around it. The great news? You can control your thinking. If prosperity feels out of reach, decide that it's not, because it isn't. It only feels unattainable because your thinking brain, your ego, is trying to keep you safe and on the couch. There's that couch thing again. Like, get off the couch. The couch is easier, it's safe, and you know what it looks like. Even if it feels uncomfortable being on that couch, even if it feels uncomfortable, stagnant, lackluster, or flat, familiar is easier than stepping outside of the normal day-to-day to follow your inner calling. It does take work and action steps, that's for sure. The inner calling takes more conscious effort. It does require more work in the form of action. But at the end of the day, at the end of your lives, if you follow this calling, the nudge into real prosperity, you'll not have wasted the time spent in this body on this planet now. Don't you want to head off into the non-physical, patting yourself on the back, saying, job well done, instead of, oh shit, I missed it. Don't let thinking determine your actions. You get to determine that. Notice anything, any negative thoughts that arise, even if the thoughts are, you've got this. You have this prosperity stuff done. It can also be a sign that you're staying on the couch. Just observe. Take note, and this exercise too builds prosperity. What's interesting about that is I had a huge pivotal moment in my life many years ago. I was early in recovery, and a good friend of mine was struggling. He couldn't stay sober, and I was driving down to go meet some friends, and I just had this idea in my head that Paul died. I was like, that's ridiculous. And I went on with my day, and I got home, and I got a call from his dad, and sure as shit, one of my best friends had died from the disease of alcoholism. It was an accident. And I very clearly heard him go, shit, because it was an accident. And he was 32 years old. He missed it. He didn't get to do what he was meant to do while we're here. And that was a pivotal part in my life in terms of waking me up to go, I don't want an oh shit moment. I want to do what I need to do to be of service, to do the calling, to do what fills my heart, to pass it on, to help others, to do what it is that my mission is here to do. I have two blocks. My only block to stay out of right there is to stay out of the how, because I'm a Virgo and I like lists and I like strategy and I want to know the how. So my block to stay out of the how and just turn it over to the universe and stay in that vision and that feeling, that bigger than life, this is my mission to be of service, not only to connect with my family, to be of service to my brother and sister, but also to help other, like I love animals, like, to be of service to the animal planet, to be of service to people with disabilities, to be of service to the community. My biggest block there is to stay out of the how. The other block is the other piece of what I do, and it's what has called us all to be here, is my service to I got a download about 25 years ago to get out there and start helping people with money. There's a lot of suffering around money. I saw a lot of suffering in my office around money. And the download was me standing in front of people, helping them with the money to stop the suffering, the human component of money, and how to stop that suffering so that we could actually have the other human, like in my office, the person on the other side of me I can do that in an instant because we talk to the human, we talk to the pain, we talk to the suffering, we untangle it, and then the money does this. Because it's not about the money. So I had this calling, and I intuitively knew that that was it for me. That is my mission, because the more people we help with the suffering around money, the better our lives will be, our communities' lives will be, the people's lives will be, the planet will be. It's a big thing. Lots of moving parts on that as well. Lots. And that part, I can't just hand it over to the universe. So I had to deal with, where do I start? I started about 5 years ago. And the biggest block I had was, who do you think you are? The second block was, you're an imposter. Like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to do this, right? Those are big blocks. And I knew they were there. I couldn't really shut them up, but I did have to say, I hear you, but I'm doing this. No matter how scary it might be, I may not have the expertise right now to be able to do this. And I'm still learning 5 years later on how to do it. How do I get my message out? How do I serve people? How do I help people stop suffering around money? Oh, well, let's talk about prosperity, because everybody wants prosperity. It's a feeling in your soul. So my biggest blocks were, who do you think you are? And I'm an imposter. And so I have had to just walk through them, let that vision, that soul calling, keep me moving forward every day and get all the support that I need to do it. The blocks are teachers in some form or fashion. When we have discomfort around something, it's there to teach us something. And if we can look at it as a teacher rather than as an irritant and something to be resistant of, it actually will reframe the discomfort or the emotional pain that we're having. It gives us a little bit of a detachment so we can actually observe it and go, all right, what am I here to learn? Especially around money mistakes, what am I here to learn? Maybe my radar needs to be up about trusting people a little bit more, or what am I here to learn about, like, that event? What needs to be healed? Do we have a pain that needs to be healed or addressed? And we're doing this all in the lens of trying to build prosperity. My message here is the blocks are here to help us get off the couch, not to keep us on the couch. So where are the blocks? Where are the prosperity blocks? Where are the blocks in the vision that are keeping you from what you want instead? It's a matter of just showing up and taking the next apparent action, even if it's not going to get you that big prize. Every little step actually gets us toward that. I wanted to talk about trauma. It is a teacher, and I am surrounded by people who have had severe trauma. It's affected the brain pattern and all that stuff. So it's really important work, but it also can be included in the prosperity umbrella as well, especially around money and prosperity. People hide. People don't want to talk about it. And that's one of the biggest ways that we suffer, because of having to be quiet around the biggest tool that we have to live. See if you can find or identify any blocks. We're starting the conversation here through the lens of prosperity. We're outing ourselves. We're not staying invisible. That's how we heal the money wound, and that's how we stop the suffering.